Hello my fiery friends, welcome to another Fiery Fun stream. I am your host, the Infernoman here. Now hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you are at. So honestly, it's been a little while since we've actually done a Midweek Magic Event stream, so I figured, you know what, today's the day. I'm feeling a little bit more relaxed today, but also I just want to take it nice and easy. So with that, what exactly am I even rambling about? Well, I'm glad you asked. So without further ado, let's just jump into it right now and show you what exactly we're talking about. Where am I at? Where am I at? There we are. Awesome. Okay. Oh, hey, Den Splenda. Thanks again for joining us today. And I also see a couple other people also kind of slowly creeping on in there. I see also, what is it, on Instagram there? Memorandums on Instagram. Thanks again for joining us. So this, of course, is probably one of my most favorite midweek Magic events. It is that time of the, was it month, year? I don't even know what to say. Anyway, this is, again, one of my favorites. It's historic Pauper time. So I love, of course, playing budget across any formats. And finally, once again, we get a chance to kind of flex ourselves to show you how fun you can enjoy Magic on a super tight budget. So this time today, it's all going to be commons, nothing else. In fact, today, once we're actually done with the Midweek Magic event, we're just literally going to just jump into just regular casual games today. We're just going to have some fun with the Pauper deck that I put together. No upgrades at all. It's literally just going to be me playing a Pauper deck versus whatever gets thrown at me. So just to kind of show you again, you can still have fun no matter what kind of budget you want to rock with. So how is our deck going to work? Well, as always, we're going to start by kind of showing you right now. Let's load up for the Midweek Magic event. We'll kind of go over the deck itself like always. We'll kind of explain to you again how this all works. Mostly again, we're just going to talk over the deck itself, the stats and everything, while each of the cards works. And then from there, we'll play as many matches as possible for the remainder of the stream. That's pretty much everybody. So for those of you that are new to this, let's go over the stats real quick. Because again, as always, longtime viewers of the channel know how we do it. We have to talk about the stats of the deck before we dive right in. So this Pauper Poison deck, a little toxic if you will, is going to be rocking colors of white, blue, and black. So that means it's going to be Esper. It is going to have a mana curve of about 2.1. And we're looking at only 4 actual creatures in the deck, and the rest of it is literally all instants, which is 28, sorceries, 4, and 24 lands to round out the whole package. As simple as can be. Oh yes, Pioneer is coming to Arena probably this time. Yes, I'm super duper happy that as of next week, Explorer will finally get converted over to now Pioneer proper. So moving forward, also I will be changing the names of the some of my videos. If you haven't noticed already, I've kind of slowly started creeping into each of them now, into the titles, adding in Pauper/Explorer, and then probably within the next month, once we get through Final Fantasy, it'll just be mostly just saying Pioneer MTG Arena. So for those of you that are again new to that, that'll eventually just start blending over into that. So don't worry, the decks and everything else will still stay the same in the same format. It's just going to be, naming is going to be slightly different. Just FYI for the future. Now, as far as how today's deck's going to go, again, as I mentioned earlier, we're literally just going to try to poison out our opponent. This is actually a pretty effective strategy, even with just common. So I'm actually really jazzed about this one. So let's start with a 1-drop slot with our one and only actual hard creature of the deck. It's going to be Crawling Chorus. So Crawling Chorus here, just a 1-mana toxic 1/1 creature, Phyrexian Horror, and it says when this creature dies, you could create a 1/1 colorless Phyrexian Might artifact creature token with toxic 1. And of course the token can't block, but we don't really care. Do is just swing as much as possible and put a bunch of poison counters on our opponent. So with that, we'll also be utilizing a little bit of tight removal here with Whisper of the Dross. It gives one of our opponents, it can actually give any creature -1/-1 until end of turn, and you can proliferate. Remember that again, proliferate allows you to then add on another counter, whether it's onto an opponent or their creature or wherever else, an additional one, whatever they have. What's nice about this card is also you can actually target your own creatures. So if maybe your opponent's not throwing down creatures, we can possibly weaken one of ours after we've done some damage, and then proliferate to add on another poison counter to our opponent. Then split it, actually 10th of May, so in 3 days if I'm correct. Oh, even better, yay! So we'll get, of course, Pioneer proper, actually literally in just a couple days. We're only so close to that, so happy about that. Now, the meat of the deck is actually in the 2-drop slot here, so we're going to be utilizing Bring the Ending here. It's our counter spell, of course. You can counter spell unless our opponent pays 2. However, once we have enough poison counters, i.e. 3 is the magic number, then that means this becomes a hard counter no matter what our opponent tries to cast. Experimental Augury here allows us to dig 3 cards deep to pick out whatever we need, put the rest onto the bottom of our library in any order, and again, you get to proliferate, so we can keep adding poison counters as we keep digging through more answers. We'll also utilize Prologue to Phyresis here. Simple card that lets us just draw a card and add a poison counter to our opponent. We'll also utilize here for additional hard removal, Anoint with Affliction here. So this is actually one of our most powerful spot removal cards here. You exile a target creature with a mana value of 3 or less. However, once we trigger Corrupted, then you can exile any creature, which is actually nice. We just need those 3 poison counters to get to that ability. For additional spot removal, or if we just need to just flood the board with some extra tokens, we'll also use Charge the Mites here. This will deal damage equal to the number of creatures we control the target creature or planeswalker. And of course, you can create 2 1/1 colorless Phyrexian Mite artifact creature tokens with Toxic 1, and this token can't block, of course. So mostly it's going to be spot removal, but 9 times out of 10, you also can utilize it for actually just making a bunch of extra tokens for you. Infectious Inquiry here is going to be a 3 mana sorcery speed draw. So we draw 2 cards, we lose 2 life. However, we give our opponent another poison counter to hopefully just beat them down. The 2 of 1 vest. It's a shame Pioneer is actually kind of irrelevant at the moment. I mean, kind of, but at the same time, I mean, I'm sure we'll get a revival as always, once we get to the next set. So this weekend, of course, we'll start getting the previews for Final Fantasy coming up. So I'm sure that'll start reinvigorating people's thoughts on, you know, how we can look at Pioneer moving forward. However, don't worry. We will still, of course, try to make some decks within that space as much as possible. But, of course, I know right now, Standard right now is pretty hot, although there are some cards that are really annoying in that format. So we'll talk about that, of course, a little bit later on. But yeah, let me know your thoughts overall on the formats in general. So if you guys want to chat about that, as always, I'm happy to hear you all out about whatever you actually want to chat. And it even doesn't have to be Magic, of course. We can chat about whatever y'all want. Okay, let me finish up the rest of the deck tech real quick, and we'll kind of just start jumping into the games. So, for rounding out the last of our cards here is going to be Vraska's Fall here. Each opponent has to sacrifice a creature or planeswalker of their choice, and they have to get a poison counter. So this is going to be our Gren. It's great spot removal against singular planeswalkers, or maybe just one troublesome creature they have, and just, of course, keep adding more poison counters to their game plan. And now, going over, of course, the land base here, because we are a Pauper deck, we're going to keep it, of course, as simple as can be. So it's going to be just 4 plains, 4 islands, 4 swamps, 2 tranquil coves, 2 scoured barrens, and 2 dismal backwaters, i.e., of course, the life gain lands. I'll have a pair of each. And then finally, to round out our whole package, to scoop out all of our actual basics, we'll have Contaminated Landscape here. Since we are Pauper, we actually just want to just make sure we get those commons out there. So this is actually a really sweet one here, because I can tap it for a land, or you can sacrifice this land to then search for any of those basics we need, the plains, islands, or swamp, and just throw it onto the battlefield. If you don't need it later on, you can literally just cycle it away. It's actually pretty nice for us. Think of it like Pauper's version of a Triome, if you will. I actually like this card. And of course, there's a couple of extra more fetch lands here. Of course, they're going to be Pauper ones, of course. So they're going to be, of course, Obscura Storefront. The perfect one for us because it instantly sacks itself. We gain 1 life, and then we just dig out a basic of our choice, which is great. Now, if you want to play this in best of 3, or maybe you are going to be saying, you know what, Infernoman, I actually like this deck, and maybe I want to try it out in actual paper Pauper, here's what you can bring for the sideboard. So for the sideboard here, we'll have Fragmentize here. We can destroy an artifact or enchantment, and then with a mana value of 4 or less for 1 mana. We'll have 3 sets of Duress here, so this is, of course, just for those control decks, for combo decks out there. We'll have for most of the low-end token decks out there, we have Suffocating Fumes here. It's our own tiny mini Wrath, if you will. It gives all of our opponent's creatures -1 and -1 until end of turn. If you don't need it, you can literally just cycle it away for 2 mana. For additional counter spells here, we'll only have 2 copies of Dispel, so it just helps us counter an instant spell at whenever we need to. If we need a little bit more stabilization here, we can also use Candy Trail. So this is actually going to be something that just helps us, of course, just kind of fix our next draws with scrying. But of course, you can sacrifice the artifact later on to draw a card and also gain some life. And then finally, our Graveyard Hate is actually Relic of Progenitus here. So this nice little common here lets us just slowly tap it just to start exiling single cards from their graveyards. And then, of course, if you need to, just literally just pay 1 mana to exile everything and just draw a card once you're done with it. So that's the whole game plan for you, everybody. Can this Pauper deck, of course, get us through the event and beyond? Well, there's only one way to find out. Again, I'm really happy to, of course, play Pauper, like, at least in Arena. I really hope that someday we'll get this, or at least Artisan for the game. I know it's not the most popular of formats, at least on Arena, but I actually really enjoy it. I actually really am a big fan of playing more Magic for less. But of course, that's literally the whole point of my existence here in online, of course. All right, so here we go, everybody. Let's see. What is our opponent throwing at us for the event here? I'm really, really excited for this one. All right, so with that, we've got our Crawling Course, which is great. Infectious Inquiry. We've got some spot removal and Counterspell. We can't counter anything just yet, but hopefully we'll get there in a little bit. All right, so. Whew. All right. Let's see. Opponent, what do you got? What do you got, opponent? Bring it on.
It's time to do.
Okay. Opponent is still thinking very hard about what they want here. But while they're thinking again, what are your thoughts so far on Magic overall this week? What you playing, everybody? What formats are you trying out? Are you building anything new? Paper? Digital? Are you still enjoying Tarkir Dragonstorm? Are you jazzed about what's coming up soon with Final Fantasy? Or do you actually hate everything right now? Let me know. I would love to hear from all y'all. Excuse me. Okay. Opponent's still taking their time. At least I hope they are, because I would like to get in a game today. Opponent? You there? Hello? Opponent? Hello? Anytime now. Anytime now. You know, by the time they do this, I literally probably could have just taken a shower. I actually got up right now. I literally kind of overslept a little bit and kind of decided I'm just going to crawl out of bed. I don't want to delay the stream, so I'm literally just going to pile on in and just kind of churn one out here. So, okay. Or maybe our opponent has a connection issue. I don't know. Could be anything. What do you think they have? Do they think they had to use the restroom? Bad connection? Do they need to pick up a package at the front door? I don't know. Boom. Okay. Oh, I guess they are here. Okay, so I'll just keep this hand. Maybe. Opponent, it's your go. You go first. What do you got? What you playing? Anything. Burn? Sacrifice? Life gain train? Come on. Don't keep me hanging. Okay, so while our opponent is kind of sitting here, what formats are you playing the most of right now? Are you... Everybody out there and watching, whether it's live or on the replay, what's your current, right now, favorite deck you're enjoying? Well, our opponent, maybe someday we'll come back. Anytime now. Alright, well, I guess this is just going to be a free one for us. It's okay, though. Even if we get this as free roll, we'll still play a little bit in this event before we jump into regular, matches. Boom. Okay, well, our opponent was not there. That's a kind of a shame. Okay. All right, well, that's fine. I guess we get one free win for the events. Not what I wanted to do. I would like to actually play. All right, well, at least that gets us one free roll today. We'll get some gems. We definitely could use some gems. Okay, well, I guess that means we'll probably play a couple extra ones within this space. Okay. Feeling it this one. Let's go. Let's go.
It's time to
Yeah. All right. Okay. Okay, so this time around, okay, we got a little bit of everything. This is good. So we got our, we can dig for stuff here. Put down our contaminated landscape. I'll pass. Vex's Inquiry for a card draw. More card draw here. Lots of card draw, actually. Block Percussionist. Okay. Opponent is going to be aggro. That's fine. Swinging with the monkey. We will sacrifice... Wait. Hold on. Oops. Almost re-tapped to the wrong place. Alright, so with that, we will get out of planes. Alright, now we have everything fixed to what we need specifically. So with that, island, and we'll pass. Alright, opponents. Okay, Vault of Whispers. So, artifacts? Affinity? That'd be kind of cute if they actually have an affinity deck. Vault Scourge? Oh, it looks like it is affinity. Alright, so in that case then, let's just start drawing cards and start getting those poison counters on our opponents. Alright, with that, Swamp. We will also... Infectious Inquiry. We'll take 2, give them another poison counter, but we'll have our gain lands to kind of give us a little bit of life back. Again, Splinit. Also, there will be better dupe protection, but by the way, it was also mentioned in the article. Well, that's good, because again, just... It's so clunky currently right now that certain things just don't fall into place, at least when you kind of play, if you will. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm still enjoying things overall, but there's just certain things that are definitely clunky still in Arena. But hopefully the duplicate protection will now fix some of those problems I have. Okay, opponent. Vraska's Fall. So obviously sacrifice the monkey, because that gives them another card, but that puts another poison counter on them, and that triggers now
Thankfully, the corrupted ability, so now we can hard counter anything. Mirror Enforcer. Ooh, okay. Opponent is definitely coming to play today. So with that, how do we do this here? Island. We're just going to keep having to draw cards here. The ending? Alright. We'll hold off for a second here.
Okay, opponent.
What else you got? At this point now, we just really need a ton of removal. Like, literally a bunch of spot removal. Ooh. We'll have to counter that.
Right, sorry, opponents. Your burn spell's denied. Too bad.
Do you have more, though? Pretty sure they have more.
If they have one,
We're going to take a big hit here. Down to 9. Okay. Packdoll Terror. Oh, I haven't seen this in a while. Okay. Life Gain and Drain. All right. So with that, we actually really do need our spot removal, like, today. So let's do this. Experimental Augury. Okay, well, Crawling Course, not spot removal, but it does block for a little bit. Up to 5. Crawling Chorus. And pass.
that at least buys us like one turn. Maybe if we're lucky. If they have spot removal here, we are done. Okay, so what else you got, opponents? Packed Terror again. Let's see. Bring the ending. All right, we'll counter that. Opponent, do you have any other answers? Oh, they do. They have the Galvanic Blast. All right. Well, in that case, then. Yeah, we lose. Well, that's a shame. That's okay, though. I mean, it's only the special event, so it's not the worst, but still, kind of a shame we still lost, though. It's okay, though. This is just a special event. It's just Pauper. No harm, no foul. So I'm still enjoying this. Okay, so with that, we'll jump back into it. Okay. Then while we're jumping in, let me know, everybody, what is your favorite special event or midweek magic event you have played in Arena? Do you like the Pauper event? Do you like the Partisan one? Gladiator? Or any of those other ones like Momir? Personally, I'm not a fan of Momir, by the way. But I mean, some people find that as their jam. Dan Splendid, currently my most played formats are Explorer, soon to be Pioneer, and Brawl. I don't like Standard. You won't change my mind. Historic and Timeless could have been if not for Alchemy and Broken cards. Yeah. I probably would play a lot more of the historic, excuse me, and timeless formats. They just didn't have the alchemy cards, so it's just kind of like an uphill struggle. Like literally, those cards always tend to be very broken. Okay, let's see what we got here. All right, so we got some spot removal. If we can get to what we need, let's keep this and see if we can draw into our next card. Yeah, I mean, I know standard right now is in a little bit of a spot. But I am still going to try out Standard a couple of more times because there are some decks I put together that I think will be a lot of fun. One of them, of course, is going to be one of the most popular decks right now in the format, but I'm going to see if I can make it budget. And then from there, I'm looking at playing maybe something that's anti-meta over maybe next week or so. Kind of just want to see where did the chips fall with some of these cards. Nice Battle Swamp. Anoint with Affliction, that's good. So with that, just get rid of that now. Just keep the board clear. That's all we got to do. That's all we got to do. Fairies here. Okay, so are they mono blue fairies? Okay, that's kind of cute. Mono blue fairies is a thing in actual real paper Pauper, so that actually is a pretty solid strategy. Mostly it's going to be a lot of trickery and bounce and tempo effects. So we got to kind of try to stay around that, if you will. Right, opponents. Okay. Experimental Augury. Not quite what we want yet, but we do need to dig out something. Let's see. Okay. I guess I'll take the Whisper of the Dross. So, excuse me. We do need at least one poison counter. One poison counter and everything starts going off here. Just one. Okay, our opponent is probably going to do ninjutsu shenanigans. That's usually what Mono Blue Fairies does. Yep, there it is. Ninja the Deep Hour. So now they get their card draw going. Alright. We just need a land. Another land can get us. Okay. A little slow, but that's okay. I guess we'll take it. So with that, we'll just wait. Please wait. Alright. Another island. Nothing yet from our opponent. They're just going to swing. Doing some damage here. And most likely their Fairy Seer comes down, and they'll just start kind of setting themselves up here. So
Start a little annoying here, but that's okay. No big deal. Furious here coming down again. Okay. Alright, this kind of puts us in a bad spot because I really want to get that first poison counter down. But we're kind of also not where I want to be yet. Okay, got another island. I guess that works. Pass here. Do they play anything yet? Opponents? I need to tap out. They swing. Alright, well, I guess we'll have to do this now. If they counter us, they counter us. They make the disappear. Alright, in that case, Fairy Seer. That goes bye-bye at least. So they can't keep doing their tempo stuff for now. Still going to be behind now on card draw. Because we really got to get rid of that Ninja of the Deep Hour. And we need our poison counters like now. Okay, tap land. Fairy Miscreant. Okay. There we go. Okay. The Two of Wives. The worst thing about Standard for me is Domain still. It's just so annoying, and I'd rather be dead in 3 turns to Mono Red. Actually, I've been kind of watching where things have been going right now. I know Mono Red is actually kind of on the way out. Right now, it's been Is It Prowess? That is literally the juggernaut deck right now. And actually, I realized the deck is actually technically, or at least in Arena, it's technically budget if you actually cut all the lands to just basics. I've kind of noticed that recently, so something I'm gonna look at doing is gonna be to actually possibly play a budget version on a stream. Maybe if not this weekend, maybe next weekend. One or the other. But that's what I'm looking at doing right now coming up. So we got our forced poison counter also, thankfully. But yeah, Is It Prowess right now? It is a very powerful setup. Okay, we got the prologue, so I guess that's fine for now. Just keep drawing cards, adding poison counters. Experiment with Augury. Start that proliferate. What do we want here? Okay, we'll take the planes. Put the planes down. Okay. So we have now finally all of our mana fixed. We just need to start taking out our opponent's stuff and then just keep the board clear. But it's easier said than done with a deck like theirs. That's one it. Honestly, if they would just make Artisan an official format with Ranked, I'd be all for it. Me too. I would be so down. I mean, that pretty much would put me completely in a niche of just doing Artisan decks mostly for the rest of time on this channel. But I would totally be down for that. But until then, we just got to work with what we got. So, I mean, if nothing else, I guess Pioneer is still fine for me to kind of play around with. I know some people are kind of meh to the format. I still have a lot of fun. And there's still a lot of design space that many others may not be in tune with, if you will. So let's see. We'll experimental Augury again. We just got to get those counters going. All right, Frostless Fall. Poison counter. And okay. Well, kind of like in an awkward spot here, because no matter what I make them lose, it's not enough. Dang. Wow, we're actually getting beat out here quite a bit. Frostless Fall again. Opponents. Take this here. Okay. All right, well, it looks like we won't be winning this one, unfortunately. Because no matter what we do here, we're not going to have enough removal. So I'll just concede now. It's okay. Wow, we're actually getting beat right now in Pauper. We still can't finish the events. Awkward. That's okay, everybody. It's okay. I am going to stick to the event until we actually get our wins in, no matter what. And, of course, after that, whatever time left over we have, we'll just play with the deck in just kind of more of a casual format. So, again, no rank today. It's literally just going to be just us chilling here. Okay. Let's get this going again. We're going to try. I'm feeling it this time. Feeling it.
It's time to do.
Yeah. All right. So with that, we're going to keep this hand here. We got the Crawling Chorus. We have some spot removal and card draw. So that's actually one of the best things about this deck. I know it's not going to be a top tier Pauper deck, but I actually like this deck to the point where I think I might actually put this together in actual real paper. Crawling Chorus again. Pull a little backwater. Give us some life gain there. We're at 22. Sneaky Toilet, yo, welcome, my fire friend. Thanks again for joining us this morning. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Wait, actually, it's not morning anymore, I realize. Oh, it's actually noontime. Okay, so yay, noon. Love it. I am. Thanks again for asking for that. Appreciate that. So yeah, we're just playing a little bit of fun Pauper in the Midweek Magic Event because I love the Pauper format right now, and this is actually my favorite event that they always put on Arena. Aside from Historic Artisan, I actually also like that format too. Okay, opponents. Anything else? Oh, it's 9 p.m. for you. Oh, it's pretty late in the evening for you then. That's right, I forgot. A lot of y'all are on the other side of the world. But yeah, hopefully your day went well. Meanwhile, opponents, 5 cards in hand. Anything else? Anything? 3 mana open. Come on, opponents. They're thinking real hard about this one. If they tap out, then I can take out that Land of War Elves and then kind of keep the tempo up. Come on. Do it. Do it. Do it, opponent. You know you want to. Come on. Come on. Tap out, tap out, tap out. Tap out. Tap out. Tap out, tap out, tap out. Land of War Visionary. There we go. Okay. So with that, we can... Oh, actually, maybe I want to take that out first. You know what? We'll take that out. So, counterspell that. Okay. So we got our planes. Whisper of the Dross. Keep those elves under control. 2. We swing. Alright, so we got Corrupted activated now, which is great. Nice. Okay, so now we're kind of like in a better spot here. Opponent's got tons of ramp, but we are definitely going to maintain control of this match. Den's playing Warframe right now. I've never actually played Warframe. How is that? Does anybody else know what's it like? I don't know, like, I've been trying to, like, see if I have time to go back to other games, because I enjoy doing content here, but sometimes I feel like, man, I don't make enough time for other video games I play. And at the same time, I told myself, yeah, I want to buy a Nintendo Switch too. Wait, but when am I going to take the time to play that? I don't know. Prologue to Phyresis. All right, another poison counter. All right, Scour Barons. Okay, we need to really dig for another card here, so let's draw 2 more. Okay, there we go. That's what we needed. So no attacks yet. So with that, 5 counters. We're halfway there. We're almost there, everybody. We're almost there. 2 lives. Do you have the card info extension enabled in stream? Oh, I was having a little issue with that earlier, so I disabled it for now. I will try to re-enable it possibly after this stream because, sorry, I had a little bit of some hiccups trying to set up this morning. But don't worry. I'll try to add it back on. As soon as I have a little bit of time, if not today, maybe a little bit later tonight, we'll try to do that. Good question, though. Yeah, I can forget that sometimes I know some of you guys prefer to have that just as a way to kind of see, like, what's available. All right, opponent is foretelling some stuff here. All right, nothing else. Okay, so that means that Anoint with Affliction can now do its thing. We'll get rid of that. So the path is clear again. We will play, let's see here. I think actually we can play the other planes. Second Crawling Chorus. We'll swing at the first one. We're at 6. I pass. So let's see. So we have more card draw still, so we can keep digging for what we need. Okay, it's a looter shooter. Okay. I see. I see. Okay, opponent's still going to keep drawing cards. Have some big creatures. Pack Wolf again. Okay. At this point, if we can just kind of stall out until we get more poison counters, I think we can win this one. Because I mean, our opponent's making some big wolves here, but they're not really doing much of anything else. I was expecting maybe a counter spell or two, but nothing. Maybe that will be in our favor. All right, opponents. Anything else? Anything else? Okay, so with that, Prologue Phyresis, we'll draw another card. Put another poison counter. All right, up to 7. Ooh, we're so close right now. Okay, we're so close. All right, so with that, Experimental Augury. Just at this point, we just need to keep digging out for more cards. We just get the rest. Okay, so the prologue will be great. Perfect. That's 8. Oh, here we go. Prologue. That's 9. Opponent, if you have a counterspell, this is now your shot to do it. So with that, we'll just pass to see if he does anything else. Anything. All right, so I think at this point, we're just going to go for it. Okay? Is that our final one? There we go. Yes, we got it. All right, everybody, that's the poison win.
Victory. All right.
Yeah.
Poisoning our opponent to death. We got the victory there, everybody. There you go. Pauper Poison. Just being a little toxic, if you will. All right, so our first legit win today, which is great. All right, we'll get our... What do we get? Okay, no witnesses. Not the best wrath, but, I mean, it's fine. All right, let's see if we can get our cosmetic now. And we'll play a little bit more in this actual format just to kind of see how well the Pauper deck does. Afterwards, once we get to probably about the halfway point, I'll probably jump over then to play some actual regular matches. I might have to tweak the deck a little bit just to kind of cater to the format itself. Because honestly, trying to take this right now, it's going to be legal and historic and timeless, and this deck will probably get wrecked there quite a bit. Or it might not, I don't know. We'll see. Either way, right now we've got the control hand, if you will. Counter spells, the tokens, the card draw. Very seared. Okay, so I guess everybody's playing today blue, but okay. But I guess it shouldn't talk because also we're playing blue. Right, they be scrying. Yep. All right. Go to Tranquil Cove. So we'll put Swamp down. Let's get the first poison counter on our opponents. Just draw a card. All right. So with that, opponent's probably gonna swing and then start doing their. Oh no, they're not yet. Okay. Fairy Miscreant. Okay, all fairies. Wow, if we had our Wrath right now, this would be so sweet. Lost his fall. Okay, so with that, we will take out one fairy while they're tapped down. Granted, they can still do their shenanigans, but we're just trying to get those poison counters on our opponent quick. Okay, come on, opponents. Show them what you got. Down to 18. Sneaky Toilet. Not sure how long you'll be streaming, but is there a chance you could show me what you think is your strongest deck, maybe at the end? Good question. I never really thought about that because I switch around decks so quickly because of content reasons. I actually never really take the time to realize, like, how, or which deck do I currently own in Arena that actually is considered my strongest. I'll have to kind of look. This might actually be something I might just kind of casually stroll around. Okay. We'll hit us down to 15. Anything else? Okay, Lantern Bearer. All right. Anything else, opponents? Playing all flying creatures. Lantern Bearer again. Okay. All right, charge the mites. Make some tokens. Maybe. Opponents? There we go. Okay, so we got our tokens down. So with that, we will prologue the Phyresis again. Alright, so now we have the Corrupted ability set to go. Put down that land. We will swing. Most likely they'll just block. Ooh, unsummon. We'll counter that. So you still have to block opponents. Block both? Block both. Okay, that's fine. That's less creatures for us to deal with for now, although they can bring them back later on. Alright. Until then, Contaminated Landscape will be sacked, and then we will get out... Let's get out a Swamp. So now we have a little bit more of a rounded mana base. Although, still not looking too good right here because they've got enough flyers, and we don't have enough removal to take out all of them. But this is, again, why if we played best of 3, this would be great for us. Alright, opponent, swinging here. Do they have anything else? There's the Ninja Devour. Joy. So that Ninja's coming swinging. Does some damage, and they will start drawing cards. Okay. Alright, Fairy Miscreant again. Drawing more cards. Okay, they definitely have the tempo advantage against us. Fairy Seer. Again. So one of the things, for those of you that maybe not play Pauper that much, you'll notice that, again, it's a very creature-centric format. So that's the kind of reason why, if you haven't noticed already, like, we've kind of tried to focus a little bit on, with our control package here, trying to get as much spot removal as possible. While still trying to maintain control of the board. But unfortunately, our opponent definitely has an advantage here. Get rid of the Ninja Devour. So at least we got their card draw stopped for now.
So that's why most of our removal, besides the counter spells and the digging for them, is just going to be a lot of that. Wraths, of course, are not very prevalent in Pauper. There's a couple of small cheap ones, but they're not that effective. Although they can be depending on the matchup. That's why we have a set at least in the best of 3. If we did this as best of 3, we definitely would bring that in for the next match. Lantern Bearer. But at this point, we're probably cooked right here. That's okay, though. Still having fun with this one. Opponents? We'll give it this one turn here. And if we got nothing else, then I'm pretty sure we're done. Whisper of the Dross. I mean, that's kind of cute, but that's still not enough. Like, it's literally just dig for more cards here. Okay, so I guess it doesn't really matter here. Dang. Okay, up to 5. Prologue. Get another card. Do they have it in the counter? Nope. Okay. Island. Whisper of the Dross. You can take out that Cloud Cannon, but again, it's not enough. We came close, though. We were going to get to about 7. Oh, they got the Skull Pierce. Oops. Okay. Well, that's pretty much it, everybody there. Dang. Got beat there. That's fine. We still have plenty of time. No big deal, everybody. We're definitely going to get a win here. We got to get that win, of course. Yeah, it happens. Definitely, we don't have the means, at least in the best of 1, for a go wide strategy, but it is there. All right, gets our gold. Jump back into it. Okay, breathing in, breathing out. Let's go ahead. Let's give this another shot. Let's see. Can we get the victory here? Because I'm feeling it this time.
It's time to do.
Yeah, okay. So, let's see here. It's literally going to be a ton of card draw, some removal and a counter spell. So it's, again, the control hand. We'll see if we can get there with this. Okay, opponent, what do you got? Opponent is on the play. We're on the draw. All right. Shambling Ghast. Okay. Zombies? Or maybe something else. Either way, Obscura Storefronts. Sacrifice immediately. We will get out an island. So we get our game plan going here. Okay, Burglar Rat. Oh, it's going to be discard? That's gross, but okay. Let's see. Throw away the Bring the Ending. So that kind of gives away what we're going to do, but we'll try to see if we can still make it around our opponent. Play the Plains. We'll wait. If they start trying to make us discard, we can use our prologues to kind of keep us our hand full. Got 18. Anything else, opponent? Nope. Okay, prologue. Draw a card and get some poison counters going. All right, nice. Get the Tranquil Cove. All right. Gain some life. And we'll pass. Okay, opponents. Ranger, all right. We're still... So I guess maybe it's more like a mono black mid-range pile? Still swinging. Still take the hits. Down to 17. Draw another card. Add another poison counter. Okay, Whisper of the Dross, that's good. We definitely could use something like that. In the meantime, play the landscape now. And we will wait it out for a second here. So, still don't have black mana just yet, but we will get there. All right, in the meantime, 4 cards on our opponent's hand. They've got 4 power on board. Cannot make them lose anything just yet. Logon in here. Oh, okay. Well, that is definitely a controlling clock. Damage here. Go down to 13, but because they tapped out, we can make some tokens, so this is good for us. And then finally, there we go. Sack, get our swamp, so now we're fixed perfectly. Oh, there we go. Now we got another swamp. That's actually even better for us. Much better. All right. Swing here. We can't block anyway, so we might as well just get aggro. And then, let's see. While they're down, Whisper of the Dross. Burglar Rat. That goes bye-bye. Up to 5. Frost's Fall. Up to 6. They can kill one of our mites. which is annoying, but that's fine. The whole point here is just to close it out. We are 4 counters away. Dog Pursuit 2, okay. Yeah, so it's a mid-range pile for them. Interesting. Baron more. Cycling. They swing. Oh, they don't. Okay. Plains. All right, with that. Tranquil Cove, because that's probably what we need now is a little bit of life gain. Prologue. Crawling Course is good. That's fine. No attacks yet. Oh, so close here. So close. Grasp of Darkness. Okay. We make a token out of that, but that's fine. Oh, actually have the other one too. Boo. Alright, that's fine. Down to 10. Okay, Dismal Backwater. No attack still. Alright. Still anybody's match. But we just need to get to literally anything. Any kind of... Okay. This will hurt for a moment here. That's fine. Draw 2 cards. 8. There we go. 9. And Prologue. That's it, everybody. Just draw a bunch of cards, and there you go. Poison counters with the victory there. Yeah, there we go. We didn't even need to swing there. We just finally got just enough card draw and just threw a bunch of poison counters on our opponent. Victory. All right, there we go. There you go, everybody. But we didn't really get officially a legit first match, so we'll keep playing a little bit longer here because I actually do enjoy the format. So we'll claim. What do we get? Oh, okay. That's cute, I guess. Okay. Either way, we'll still take it. Cosmetics are cosmetics, even if we never really use them. So we're actually going to be playing a little bit longer in this format just for a bit, and then we're going to kind of see how well this does technically in actual regular formats. I know obviously we're going to be underpowered, but you'd be surprised as to what this deck is capable of when opponents are not really prepared for it. Okay, Obscure Storefronts. So let's see. We will get out... Let's get a Swamp. And then with that, we should be able to start casting all of our black spells here coming up. Plains. All right, opponents. What do you got? Do you have the -4/-4 proliferate card? I've tried that a couple times, and it always ends up kind of fizzling on me. But I could still kind of look at it for possibly the future. Maybe for another... or maybe tweak it for the sideboard. I don't know. Maybe. We'll have to see. All right, nothing from our opponent just yet. Okay, Island. And then... I guess we'll just get the first counter on. Hurt ourselves, but they now get 1 poison counter. So, there we go. We can start getting the game plan going here. Opponents? Anything else? Okay. Sagu Pummeler. So that's a little bit scary for us, but that's okay. We can still get around that. Because here's how we do this. We have Vraska's Fall. Make them lose it. Denied. 2 poison counters. Crawling Course comes out. All right, opponent, bring it on. Bring it on. Okay. Anything else? Crypt Feaster. Okay. Maybe I could put in the -/-4 proliferates. Maybe if I chop out maybe some of those artifacts in the sideboard, I'm thinking that might be the best option. Whisper the Dross. Get rid of the Llanowar Elves. They're now up to 3, thankfully, so that means we can also prologue here. Draw another card. No attacks yet. Okay, opponents. So, this will be a big threat after a certain point. But we still have enough card draw and counter spells here. We should be able to then just overwhelm them with the amount of raw card advantage we'll have. All right. Counter that. Can't have too many big things on the field. Anything else, opponents? Swinging? No swinging. Okay. Surprising, a Crawling Course literally just kind of holds people back from doing things. So with that, let us just keep drawing cards. 5. Draw another one. 6. Okay, we're getting close. We're getting close. Against Golgari. Experimental Augury for a card draw or proliferate card? Yeah, so that's why we have that one. So yeah, it's kind of helps us, again, just dig for what we need to if the prologue to Phyresis is not enough. Okay, our opponent is definitely now set to stop us here, but the Crypt Feaster, again, I'm not too worried about. We're not worried about their life gain. We're just worried about just trying to 4 more counters. That's all we need. Thankfully, though, we do have enough removal here. We can just start taking stuff out. I like it a lot. I do too. Me too. Opponents? Okay. Interesting. Okay. Well, our opponent is definitely trying to buff themselves up here. Get out the Scour Barons. Get a little bit of life back. 7. Life gain. Got a little too greedy there, opponents. No attacks. So with the next turn or so, we should have just enough to actually beat down our opponent here. Oh, some more giants. And this is also the reason why we have those Anoint with Afflictions. So for the big cards right here, we can definitely start swinging at stuff. Okay, so with that, block here. They lose their creature, that's fine. We get back a Might. Not a big deal. Gain some life here. Elsworn Giant. Gone. And now we have the board clear. 8. Infectious Inquiry. That makes 9. Okay. So at that point, our opponent has had enough. They don't want to deal with our deck anymore because we definitely were going to win next turn anyway. So victory to us, everybody. There we go. Nice. So again, this is what you were mentioning earlier, Sneaky Toilets. With the testing that I've done back and forth with this deck, the -4 Proliferate card does sound good in theory, but it's kind of slow. So preferably, I would rather give up the Proliferate ability to use Anoint with Affliction because this is instant speed, and once you have enough poison counters, you pretty much can exile anything, so it gets rid of any threats that are out there. So that's kind of the reason why my reasoning is for that. But I might throw in 1 or 2 maybe in the sideboard. We'll see. But otherwise, there we go, everybody. So technically, that would have been our 3rd win there for the event. We'll play again a little bit in this event a little bit longer because I do like it, and I'm having a lot of fun with this one. So we'll keep kind of playing around with it more. Maybe after 1 or 2 more matches, I'll actually take this into a regular format. I don't expect this to perform well, but it's going to be hilariously satisfying when we can get a couple of victories with a deck that's literally just designed of all commons. Okay, so until then, what's unique about this event? So it's a historic Pauper event, so that means that every deck here can only run common cards. So every one of these cards is literally just a common. So that's what makes it a unique event. But it also kind of means that your deck building has to be a little bit different because in a format like this, with commons, you're not going to have access to some of the more prolific card styles or strategies that you would in a regular deck. Because, for example, decks like these, you don't have access to wraths. Most wraths are either uncommon or rares. And for a matchup like this, you're going to have to kind of mix it up a little bit as to what you're trying to do. But good question on that one, though. Personally, I love events like this because it really kind of challenges the way you build into doing something a little bit different. Okay, so that means we have to discard. Let's see here. I guess we'll just toss away the storefront. So our opponent here is going very wide. Very wide. Okay. Let's see here. What do we get rid of? I guess we'll get rid of the island. We have enough lands, so that's fine. So opponent swinging. And a format like this does feel a little bit slower in some ways. J-Money over from YouTube. I made a deck with 4 Soul Wardens and 36 Terra Parents and went 3 for 1. Oh, that is hilarious. You really kind of cheesed the event there, but hey, whatever works, works. So can't hate on that. Gotta work with what you got. Okay, so with that, let's see. We could really use our tiny spot removal here the most. Because at this point, whatever they sack, which is going to be the Iron Apprentice, watch. It has to be. They'll sack this, and then the counter goes on something else. Most likely the Vault Scourge. Because that makes the most sense. Yep. So that means they get better life gain. Okay. Same thing. I'm not sure if we're going to win this one, because our opponent is definitely going wide here. And, ugh. This is a huge threat right here. Cranial Ram. Although, fun fact, Cranial Ram here in paper is banned in Pauper for obvious reasons, as you can see. Okay, so with that, Prologue of Phyresis. Draw again. Yeah, we're not going to survive the next turn, so I'm just going to draw what we need, and that's pretty much it. So let our opponent kind of swing here, and we'll take the L. No big deal, though. All right, swing there, and yeah, our opponent's got us down. That's fine. But yeah, Cranial Ram is not allowed for this reason because it is a very strong card in Pauper, but in Arena, they didn't do it, so it's okay, though. It's just an event, so I can understand why they didn't take the time to ban that. Still, it's fine. Get some, you lose some. But again, thanks again for joining us today, J Money. Hopefully having a wonderful day wherever you're at. All right, so I think we can squeeze in maybe like one more, and then we'll kind of jump to a regular format. I know, it sounds absolutely crazy to play an all-commons only deck in an actual regular format that's not meant to be designed for this. But hey, maybe we'll get a couple of fun wins. But to keep it fair, though, I will be playing for at least this stream, we'll keep it casual. So we won't be doing ranked. We'll just kind of see, because you'll get also a better variety of decks in the casual formats. We'll still play a little bit of best of 3 to kind of see if we can kind of see if this deck actually can do stuff. Any wins, though, I can get in the ranked format or the regular formats, I actually will be happy about. But until then, play the land. All right. All right, opponents. What do you got? Show me what you got. Couple of Electromancer, all right. So what we need here is, let's get blue. All right. There we go. All right, so with that, we got our Swamp. We'll take down that Goblin Electromancer now. We can't afford to have that out. Okay, opponent, what else you got? J-Money, thank you. I wish we could actually do Pauper all the time. It is fun. Yes, it is. I really hope that maybe in the future we'll get at least, if not Pauper, Artisan or Pauper. One of those I would love to have as just a permanent queue in Arena. Just something that's simple. Meanwhile, they will spend resources on constantly pushing out Alchemy. Again, still not my jam, but I mean, hopefully in the future, there'll be at least enough of a demand that we will give it someday. I would love to hope out for that, because I really do enjoy these events. And it's a nice break away from just the normal stuff you find on Arena. One is ramping out treasures here. What are they trying to do? What are we trying to do, opponents? I mean, whatever they're doing, we're going to have to hold off to see if we might have to counterspell something or spot removal. Okay, opponent, what do you got? Sneaky Toilet, really dislike Alchemy. Yes, me too. Not a fan of it at all. Opponent is making a ton of treasures here. So even as you can see here, even in a format that's all commons, you'd be surprised as to what kind of decks you can have. Just wish, yeah, Arena would not have so much of an Alchemy presence. I get why they want to do it. I know why, but it's just not fun. Spearmaw Augury. All right, digging 3 cards deep. Start adding, again, more poison counters. Okay, Charge of Mites. Let's get that. All right, 2 poison counters. Opponent's not doing much of anything except ramping, so I'm curious to know what are they going to try. J-Money, they probably are afraid of people just grinding and go free to play. I mean, you're not wrong. Not gonna lie. That is definitely something... I mean, that's kind of the reason why, again, like, I do this channel in the first place. I have a lot of fun playing with the cheap stuff, and it's actually pretty surprising as to what you can build with literally only just a handful of raiders and a bunch of what people call is draft chaff. Sneaky Toilet, please touch the pets. Are you talking about the mites that we have here? Is it this? Is that what you're talking about? Very confused. Okay. Anyways, still not quite sure what our opponent is doing. They've got a ton of stuff here, but okay. Well, I guess we'll throw out our little mites now. All right, so we got 2 little critters here. Get our contaminated landscape. That's fine. Swing here. Start making some counters. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we got up to 4, so that's good for now. we'll hold off for a bit. Again, I don't know what our opponent's going to try to do here. I think they have a combo ready to go. That's what I think they were going to try to do. That's the only reason why they have this much ramp going. Seize the spoils. All right. But whatever they try to do, I can counterspell it. So hopefully we'll get there. Oh, you're talking about the actual pet on the thing. Okay. Over here. Well, our opponent kind of has it set where I can't really interact with it. So that's kind of unfortunate. Okay. Frost's Fall. Okay, so that's what I see our opponent's trying to do here. They're trying to make a bunch of squirrel tokens. Interesting. Okay. But thankfully, we are ready for this. We can still get around this game plan if our opponent's going to try to do this. Galvanic Relay. Okay. All right, opponents. So I see what they're trying to do here. So it's a Storm deck. So you can see right here, everybody, even in Pauper, you can do crazy things like this. Okay. All right, opponents. They stormed off, but did it pay off? And then let's see. Okay, yeah, we have our, like, I have this one active here, so look at that. See, playing with the pet. But I like to keep him on my fire thing for obvious reasons. Okay. Anything else, opponent? Nothing. Okay, so let's go ahead and start getting rid of some of those squirrels. Thank you, opponent. Up to 6. Oh man, we're getting close. We're so close here. So let's see. Let us make them sacrifice another token. All right, nice. Anoint with Affliction. Get rid of the others. There we go. Nice. Okay, up to 9. So our opponent has to combo off now. In other words, they have to win this turn, or they will lose next turn. Okay. Opponent is going to try to combo off with their goblins here, but isn't enough. I do like what this deck is doing, though, what they have. It's a really interesting little combo here, but if they fizzle, we will win. All right, opponent. Ooh, they're doing it. Is it enough? Shatterstorm, okay. Is that it? It's gonna be a lot of squirrels. Ooh. Oh, that's not enough, though, opponent. I'm sorry. Just a simple card draw, another poison counter, and you lose. There we go, everybody. Victory for us. Yeah. Cannot beat the poison. Oh, man, that was gnarly. But, hey, I'll take the win. A win is a win. All right, so with that, I think we'll just kind of cut it there for the event itself. Because I actually want to try this out in a regular format. I know that sounds absolutely insane, but I'm going to try. However, we're going to make a small tweak, but don't not worry. If you do like this version of the deck, I will, of course, leave a link in the details of this live stream once we're done. So the only real changes is this would, by keeping in the contaminated landscapes, this would put us at least in historic or timeless, which I think this deck might get a little outclassed there. I want to try to keep it at least somewhat fair, so we're going to cut these, put in the Obscura storefronts. And then also this means that Relic of Progenitus also will have to get cut here. I'll put in something else to replace these. So in the meantime, looking at our game plan here. Okay, so we'll probably just put in, let's see. All right, so with that, 1 extra swamp, 1 extra island. So there we go. And then for the sideboard here, not sure really if I want to put anything. Okay, so let's just see what else we can kind of put. So we're going to try to type this out real quick and then see, is there any kind of graveyard hit I can bring in for here? Let's see, because the way this will work is we need something that can just, let's see. Sorry, I got to look at it from this perspective. Okay, give me a second here, everybody. Don't worry. Okay, so we can use, if we want to keep this pure for the format, not really much of anything we can really use that would just be a good exiling card for. I mean, this is not going to be a huge deal. I'm just curious to see what we can do. Exile graveyard. All right. Well, I mean, if we can't find anything, I could still always just put in whatever. And then we could just kind of go from there. Well, if I can't, that's fine. I mean, you know what? I don't want to think too hard on this one here. So let's go ahead. Let's just put in just something else that we can use. All right. In that case, then, maybe another counterspell. Okay, let's do it this way. So I think, or actually maybe a bounce effect. Sorry, I'm mumbling to myself right here while I kind of think about how I want to do this. So with that, let's see. We'll put in these. Machine over matter, because we will have some mites, so we'll keep that. Okay, so with this, we're going to jump into just some explore with this poison deck. Yeah, Voidwing would be nice, but yeah, it's an uncommon. PJ over on YouTube there, thanks again for joining us, my fire friend. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Can you share the deck? Yes, I can. So if you want to, for those of you that are, again, curious, we'll leave a link in the details once we are done with today's stream. So within probably the next hour or so, because technically we're at the halfway point. So after that, don't worry. I will leave a link so you guys can check this out. And it is fully Pauper legal. So if you do want to play this in paper, I'll definitely have that all set for y'all. If you guys want to see how this all looked beforehand, you can always rewind the live stream. And now I kind of went over at the very beginning, kind of like a basic little overview of the deck if you're interested in seeing what is it capable of. Quarter shield, okay. Bone saw. Wait, what is our opponent doing? Okay. Opponents? Okay, interesting game plan here, but okay. I'm not sure what our opponent's doing here. A lot of affinity stuff. We'll see. Okay, opponent literally just threw out their whole hand. Down to 20. Okay. I'm not sure what our opponent is doing, but I'm just going to go with it. Let's see, they have an accordant shield. Okay. So obviously it's an affinity deck. A colorless one, but... Oh. Wait, what just happened? I'm so confused right now. What was our opponent even trying to do? I'm not sure. Okay. Yay. Whatever. A win's a win, I guess. Sneaky Toilet, just saying my poison deck is your green-black poison deck, so thank you for that. Oh, you're welcome. Happy to help. Okay, let's see if we can actually get in a real match in Explorer/Pioneer. Wow, I can't believe that. We're finally going to get this renamed to Pioneer proper in literally a couple days. Super happy about that. All right, here we go.
It's time to do.
All right, so with that, let's keep this hand. And we'll put out there Tranquil Cove, gain some life. Okay, opponent, what do you got? What pile of power are you throwing at me? Okay, so they got Triome. Get to Obscura Storefront. We're literally going to be as cheap as possible for this. Crawling Chorus. I suppose there actually are a couple of other types of spot removal you could use for this deck if you really wanted to. Or maybe I would probably put in a controlling piece here in the future. Okay, get our first poison counter. We'll pass. So what else is our opponent trying to play here? They got some solid lands here. Shivan, okay, wow, it's a pile of lands. Ether Channeler, alright. Do they bounce back what we have? Do they make a token? Do they draw a card? Okay, so they are going to bounce it back. Okay, so in that case then, charge the mites. Make 2 mite tokens. That's fine if they bounce it, no big deal. In the meantime, however, we will... Let's get rid of that. Get a poison counter on them. There we go. Nice. Okay, so 4 poison counters on our opponent here. Okay. Pathway. Ether Channeler again. They'll most likely bounce away a token, which is annoying, but that's fine. Okay. Anything else, opponent? Nothing? Okay. So, let's see here. Let us Whisper the Dross. Lose their channel. They're up to 5 counters, which is good. 6. Crawling Course again. Ooh, we're so close. We're doing pretty good here. Cloud King's here. Huh, so I guess our opponent is playing some kind of just ETB deck? It's a random pile, I'll say. Okay, maybe Arena gave us a nerfed deck to play against, so that way we don't feel like we're getting completely overdone. But yeah. Teamer? Charge through. Wow, okay. I guess our opponent's just playing with whatever they have, which is fine. Not a big deal. Okay, sacrifice. 7. There we go. Nice. Up to 9. We need 1 more poison counter and we get a victory here out of this one. Sneaky Toilet. Blue, black, or green, black for poison deck. Which you rate more? If we're just talking straight up poison, you probably could just go with a simple green and black deck. In fact, actually, years ago, we did do a poison deck before we started getting the toxic ability from Phyrexia. So that is something you can go with, because you get access to Finn the Fangbearer, which is actually really solid. You have a couple other great cards that are good for removal to add poison counters, so either way, you really can't go wrong with it. Opponent has to block here if they don't want to lose. But what they don't know is we already have everything ready on the backswing. We just want to get rid of their creatures. There we go. All right, so there we go. Draw a card. That's the last poison counter, and we win. Victory for us, everybody. All right. So I think we'll play maybe a couple of more best of ones just for a little bit in this, and we'll play some best of 3. But, oh, okay. So I have an idea for... Oh, well, hold on. Oh, we got a free market backwalker. That's nice. I'll take that. Okay, real quick. It just clicked in my head. So, for the... Hold on. I think I have an idea here. So, we'll do it this way. Let's see. Hold on. I had an idea here for what I wanted to do, because I saw it earlier. So, I figured we'll just get it now. It'll be... Yeah, sorry. For what I'm trying to do right now is I had an idea for the other card that I wanted to use, which is Ill-Gotten Inheritance. So 2 copies of that I think would be great. And then we'll put back in that Candy Trail. Or maybe, hold on. Maybe instead of the Candy Trail, wait, Duress. There we go. Okay. Better. Okay, so that gives us at least now, if we were to play best of 3, like something else to help us control the board while we slowly kind of chip away at our opponent here. Okay. Sneaky Toilet. Yep, I use him. That's the one where Death Touch equals poison, if I'm not mistaken. You are correct. So Finn the Fangbearer alone is actually a really solid card. In fact, actually, I might try to do for, once we come back to the Basically series, once we start doing Brawl/Commander decks on super tight budgets, I might, most likely I might have him as one of my premieres for the mono green deck once we build that. All commons and uncommons. And he'll be leading it. That'll actually be a fun one. But I'm still going to need more time to kind of brew that out a little bit. Okay, we're very land heavy on this hand here, but that's okay. Hopefully we'll draw into what else we need. In the meantime, let's set up the rest of our lands properly. Sneaky Toilet, are you following me again just because? Oh, that's so nice of you. Appreciate that. All right, opponent, what do you got? Show me what you got. All right, Swamp. And we'll pass here. Okay. Opponent? Nothing? I wonder what they're holding on to. Counter spells? Tempo? Impulse, okay. So they're digging 4 cards deep. What are they playing? What are they playing? Right, either way, we got our first poison counter. That's good. We will put the planes out there. Infectious Inquiry. We'll draw 2. We lose 2, but that's another poison counter, so we need 8 more. Okay, opponent. Nothing else? No, they're just throwing away cards. Okay, well, they can do that if they want to. Storefront. And then we will get out another island. And then we'll pass. Not sure at all what our opponent's doing. I guess maybe they're just a tempo deck? But I guess it doesn't really work if they don't have creatures, I guess, to deal with. Reluctify Rhesus. And that's actually one of the fun things about this deck is, for certain decks like this, we can still kind of get around their game plan here. I mean, yes, they can counterspell us here and there, but eventually they'll have to deal with all the counters we throw at them. Okay, so with that, we will pass. Okay, so we can put down the Mites next turn, and that'll start putting pressure on our opponent. Okay, charge the Mites. Does this stick? Maybe. Opponent have another counterspell? Opponent, what do you got? Karate Star. Okay, so that's perfect for us. Okay, so we counterspell that. Too bad, opponent. Denied. Make our tokens. Okay. So this actually puts us in a really good spot here. Swing here. Now Corrupted turns on. The Infectious Inquiry. Draw 2 more. There we go. Tranquil Co. Actually, hold on. Obscure Storefront. Thin our deck just a smidge. Get out a Plains. And we go from there. Alright, here we go. Sneaky Dealer, just a heads up. Also not 100% sure on validity, but I've heard about that matchmaking is also based on your deck composition, not just wins and losses. So your only commons deck should make games a bit easier in general. Okay. Hold on. Let's see. We'll counter that Tolarian Terror. Too bad, opponents. Consider. Alright. Let's see here. Okay, so I mean, even if our decks are going to be facing easier opponents here, I mean, it's still all commons. So I'll still take it. But sometimes you might get matched up against like some tougher stuff. I mean, Haughty Djinn is not exactly an easy card to get around. Just saying. Charge the Mites. Okay, let's make some more Mites. Opponents? Counterspell? Not complaining. I just love the idea of easier games. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, we usually play ranked like 99% of the time on this channel, unless we're playing Brawl, but sometimes it's just nice to kind of relax for a little bit here, and I'm just having a good time just chilling. But either way, I think our opponent is going to be out of luck here. Haughty Djinn, do you counter it and protect it, opponents? Either way, you're in a spot where you're going to lose no matter what next turn. Ooh, Fading Hope. Not expecting that, but okay. So, fizzles. Anything else, opponents? I don't think you're still going to win either way, because that puts us still at 8, because we still get the poison counter no matter what. And there you go, everybody. Another victory for the Pauper Poison deck. Get that's a little too toxic for our opponents. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Feeling really good about this deck. So with that, we'll play maybe 1 or 2 more best of 1s in Explore, and we'll maybe try it out a little bit with best of 3. IssyPJ from Twitch over there, thanks again for joining us, my fire friend. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Can you share the deck? Yes, I will make sure again at the end of the stream, and I do apologize for that, I will put together, of course, the list, and I'll put it in a link so all of you can just click on that and just kind of copy paste. So once we're done, if you also want to play still the Midweek Magic Event, don't worry. The Midweek Magic Event, of course, still runs until tomorrow afternoon. But again, as soon as I'm done with this event, I will add a link to the details. You guys can all just kind of click and copy and paste it over if you want to just take this for a spin in Arena. So it is coming. Don't worry. I will put it up. Okay, in the meantime, we'll get to our next match here. Opponent's playing Soul Mender here. Opponent gonna swing? Nope. Okay, nothing yet. So with that, we'll pass. Alright, so I was gonna do some life gain shenanigans, which is fine. That's cute. Another Plains for opponents. Linden. Oh, okay. So, that's going to get a ton of life gain. But one of the nice things about this deck is we don't care how much life gain our opponent has. We just start putting poison counters. We just need to get to the magic number of 10. That's all we got to do. Opponent hits us. They'll gain some more life. That's okay. Get another swamp. So here's how we do this. Take out the queen. Sorry, opponents. And Whisper the Dross. Keeping the board clear. That's 2 poison counters, and the board is clear again. So, against a regular format, as long as we can just keep spot removal to just 1 or 2 things, we shouldn't have too much trouble dealing with whatever our opponent throws at us. So until then, 4 mana. They can definitely cast a lot of life gain shenanigans here. Anything opponents? Too bad. 1 threat at a time is the worst way to play against us, because we can just keep spot removaling everything. Wait, did I say spot removaling? That's not a word. Words are hard, though. It's fine. You know what I'm saying. Infectious Inquiry. Draw 2. Poison counter number 4. Pass. So whatever they play here, we can Experimental Augury and start digging up our other answers. Heliod. Okay. That might be cute, but I think we can still get around that. Augury. Let us get... Let's see, what do we do here? I don't get the Infectious Inquiry. We're just going to go the control route here. So our opponent's not really playing major threats that we have to worry about. And then we'll hold off for a turn. Soul Mender. Okay. Opponent. Anything else? Maybe? Okay, so I guess this will be the Charge the Might's turn. Having a lot of fun with this one. It's actually really coming together. Okay, 2 Mights. Okay, so we got the Anoint with Affliction, which is great. So with that, let us... see, actually, Vraska's Fall. So even if they try to protect it, they can't. Sorry, opponent. Get that out of the way. We swing here. Unless if they have anything flashing in, I think we pretty much are going to get another victory here. Very easily. Okay. Up to 8. Okay. We're doing it. Anything else, opponents? Twinblade Paladin. Okay. That's cute. Oh, welcome back, Dunsplanet. What'd you miss? So we got through the event itself, and we've been actually doing pretty good with this deck overall. I've actually been pretty satisfied with how it's been turning out. Ross's Fall. Sorry, opponents. I think this is pretty much it for them. Your cute little life game plan does not matter to us. All right, and with that, I think that is it, everybody. We'll just do our swing here. We get another win. Or maybe not. I don't know. Opponents? Okay, they're letting us. Come on. Swing, swing, swing. Another victory here. All right. Anything? Oh, they just gonna gave us lifelink. That's cute, opponent. You're like, I just gave up. All right. That's 11 poison counters, and another victory goes to us. All right. If you actually want to trust to mix it up, play some poison. I know some people are not fond of poison, but I enjoy the mechanic. It is definitely a tricky one to kind of get around because there's not really too many ways of kind of stopping it once it starts. Okay, so with that, let's see here. We'll see again. Maybe like one more best of 1, and we'll jump to best of 3. But it's okay. Even if we don't get any more wins beyond this point, I'm pretty satisfied with how the deck has turned out. To the point where I think I'm probably going to actually take my own list, maybe do 1 or 2 mods from cards that we cannot get in Arena, and I'll definitely probably put this together as a nice little Pauper deck that I can keep for my own personal collection. At some point, if you guys are interested, I'm probably going to put out some exclusive content where I will share my actual real paper decks once I have some free time for that. But until then, that's when I did send my list of my mono white tokens deck in Discord. How is it? Oh, I'll check that out when I can, once I have a little bit of free time. Sneaky toilet. Proliferate is one of my least favorite words to say out loud. Oh, as in just to pronounce it? Proliferate. 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 Okay. Get the island. Is that what you were trying to mention there, Sneaky Toilet? Bone Saw. Okay. Quarter Shield. Oh, okay. Quarter Shield again. Authorate the consoles. Okay. And they scoop. So, I've been noticing this over the past couple of days on Arena. People throw out like a ton of these free spells and then instant concede. Is there something I'm missing? Are people trying to do the thing where they try to purposely lose a bunch and then try to get a bunch of boosted easy wins? Is that what opponents are doing? I don't know. Have you guys all noticed that? Have you guys been dealing with that kind of randomness in Arena? Let me know. That's when oops, it was for Boros. My bad. Let me find the deck real quick. Okay, no big deal. No rush. But yeah, anybody else let me know about that. If you've seen people that just instant concede after playing like 2 or 3 free spells and then just kind of just give you a free win. Sneaky Toilet. Is it not for daily missions? Play X amount of white or black cards? I mean, kind of, but the thing is they're playing a bunch of free colorless artifacts. Like, sometimes I've even seen they'll play like 1 or 2 of the free spells, like an Ornithopter or a Bone Saw, and then instant concede. I don't think there's any daily that right now says play a certain amount of artifacts. I could be wrong, though, but I've never seen that. So I'm not sure. Or maybe I'm just overthinking it. I don't know. People do all kinds of weird things on Arena. Okay, so with this, we'll keep this hand, and then what do we put back here? I think we'll put back the Scour Barons. So let's go ahead, let's start digging for our other lands that we're going to need. Let's get out an island first. Okay, opponent, what do you got? Show me what you got. Playing a swamp, champion of the parish. Okay, so we're going to need spot removal quick. So your storefront. And then for this, we'll get a plains. So we can get out our crawling chorus next turn. Okay, so it looks like we might actually face a real deck this time. Opponent is going to be playing zombies, so this probably will be a loss for us because I don't know if we're going to have enough answers if their champion of the parish starts getting big. But we'll try. Sneaky Toilet almost exclusively play ranked. Worst thing I get there are people that make 30 minutes per move they make. Yeah, sometimes you get that, and it just feels very meh. Okay, opponent is playing an all zombies deck. Very interesting. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to get around this, though. This is going to be not very good. So yeah, it looks like Arena kind of set us up finally with a real threat of a deck. Because I don't know if we can get around this, but we'll try. Okay, opponents. Okay. We do lose our might. Crawling Course now becomes a cute little might here. Whisper of the Dross. We have to pay the 2 life. Or not. Okay, we do. Opponents. Okay, so with that, get rid of one of their creatures. We will lose a chunk of life here, though. Ugh. Okay, Anoint with Affliction will help us out. But I don't think we'll have enough time to get counters on our opponent here, so I don't think we're going to get this one. But that's okay. It's okay. It'll happen. Opponent. Removal. Fatal Push. No surprise. Anoint with Affliction. Unstoppable Slasher will die. Maybe. Maybe. Sneaky Toilet. My friend's not playing red Netsen. English is hard. Yes. In all fairness, I also stumble on my words too. Quite a bit. Even as an American, I stumble on my words a lot, so don't feel too bad about it. Really is. I heckin' hate silent letters like knife and night. Yeah. So many words do not make sense when they kind of, with pronunciations. I don't know how it ended up with certain pronunciations of certain words, like, what is it, like baloney or kernel, things like that. Okay. Yeah. I don't think we're going to get this one, so we'll just take the L. Okay, that's fine. Not a big deal, though. It's okay. So with that, for the remaining 30 minutes, let me play a little bit of best of 3. I don't expect us to get any wins with this one in best of 3, but again, this is just meant to be a fun casual deck. For some reason, I've just fought to just play a little bit of unranked with our poison deck. Trying to keep it cute and simple. No major craziness. Desmond, okay, the mono white tokens on a 12 rare budget is sent properly this time. Nice. When I have time, I'll see if I can check that out later on. You made it for Explorer, was that correct? Or is this a Brawl deck? Sorry. I forgot which one you were building for. Okay, opponent's going to go first. So with that, we'll keep this hand. We can't really play too many things, but hopefully we'll draw into what we need. Okay, we got the Tranquil Cove. Actually, that's good. That gives us a tap land that we can use for now. And then we can put down the island and start doing our thing from there. Artist talent. Okay. Opponent is going to start going off here pretty quick. So, draw that card, get a first poison counter. We just need some black mana, and we should be fine here. Okay, so it is for the Pioneer Foreign. Okay. Just checking. Okay, opponent. Nothing yet? Nothing yet. Okay, that's fine. Put another island, and we will pass here. Okay, opponents. So our opponent is playing definitely something serious here, so we'll see if our deck can get around this. Whether we win or lose makes no difference to me. I'm just trying to see if we can actually get a win in a proper format. Charge the mites. Let's make those mite tokens. Maybe. Will you let me, opponent? Ooh, maybe they do have a counterspell. Dang, they do. All right. That's annoying. That's fine. We still have other ways of getting around their things. So in the meantime, let's Mineral Augury. Guess we'll get the Crawling Course. Submit. Crawling Course. Okay, so with that, let's see what our opponent's going to try to do here. Dense Splendid. Sideboard is still whack, but I haven't played with it yet. That's fair. I mean, sometimes it is a little hard to kind of evaluate your sideboards, because sometimes, even if you're playing best of 3, there's so many different variants and decks out there. Usually, when in doubt, just kind of pick the catch-all stuff. You know, sideboard in your graveyard hate, your artifact and enchantment hate, planeswalker hate, stuff like that. And depending on what color you are, it's either counter spells, hard removal, exile effects, whatever your deck in the main part doesn't cover. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. Okay, opponents. Opponent's thinking here. Opponent is thinking. Anytime now, opponent. Opponent? You there? Hello? Hello? Okay, fine. We'll just be patient. See what they do. Dense Splendid. I'm mono white, and most of my rares went into the main deck. Okay, I see. But yeah, I'll pull that up a little bit later on. I'll see what I can, how it looks. I mean, you're pretty good at building your stuff as is, so I'm pretty confident you have something that's pretty solid. Wow, our opponent actually didn't do anything. Okay. I feel a little awkward, but okay. A free turn? Maybe? if our opponent's there or not. Hopefully our opponent is aware that we're playing best of 3. So if they're not there for the first one, that's literally a free win for the first one. And then we might have a sweet edge for the next match. Or the next game. Sneaky Toilet. He mentally capped out. Possibly. I mean, all kinds of things happen. Could be, again, might have been sidetracked with something else that happened. Could be a connection issue. Usually for me, it's a connection issue every time. Okay. But while our opponent is still taking their time to figure out stuff here, if you enjoyed the content for today or any of our other streams or any of our other stuff, for those of you who haven't done so already, please like, follow, and subscribe wherever you watch the content so you don't miss out on any of the gameplay, booster pack openings, live streams, and so much more. Okay. Oh, looks like we can finally swing here. Here we go. We got our third counter on there. So now we have Corrupted setup. We don't have the mana for these cards yet, but that's okay. Dense Minute. My list is a bit different. Imagine this if a token control hybrid. Okay. That sounds pretty interesting. I'll check it out when I can. Sneaky Toilet. Still down to see you do the High Noon Planeswalker deck of ours, to be honest. Okay. Well, actually, you might be surprised to what we're planning maybe this weekend for a actual live stream. I do have something that's kind of fun and brewed up. And just in time for now us officially getting Pioneer for Arena. But we'll talk about that again at the very end of the stream. Okay, opponents. Anytime now, opponents. Okay. Well. Okay. Did we get a free win? Okay, well, we take game 1 as a free win. Oh, actually, it's just the whole thing. Yay? Okay. Alright. I mean, a win's a win, even if we didn't really get a chance to do anything. Man, I was kind of hoping that we were going to get a serious good one out of that one, but okay. Okay, let's try again another best of 3. If we really might consider it, I might actually do 1 or 2 ranked matches before we're done today. Maybe. Just to see like how we can get a real test of strength, if you will. Okay, so we're playing first. We will keep this hand. It's a controlling hand, but we can still do our thing. We'll put down first a Swamp. Even if we can't get a poison counter first. Oh, okay. See, they're doing it again, so it's... Okay, 12-month script. Okay, so it's going to be a bunch of free stuff. And then they'll instant concede. Put on a tap land. Okay, they did not actually concede it. Oh, there it is. All right. Okay. I don't even know what to do right now. I'm just guessing our opponent is just going to give us a free win. I'm not even going to change anything. There's no reason to. Because they're going to do it again right here. Dense Minute. The budget of mine is 6 rares, 6 mythics to be exact. Okay. Neat. Okay, our opponent, are they going to instant concede again? Maybe. Mox Amber. Yep. 3 spells, 12 scripts. Maybe I do want to give this a try in like another format. I don't know. No, there's the concede. All right. Although just a heads up, I took out the Scavenger's Talents, replaced it with 2 Market Gnomes and 2 Virtues of Persistence to help me with the early game, plus Virtues offering strong late game anyway. Okay. That'll be interesting. I kind of want to see how that plays out. Maybe I might pull that up later on the list and kind of like play around with it a bit. Okay. So, we're not really getting the matches I was expecting here, which is kind of like an awkward thing. But I will try once more to see if we can actually get a real serious match. But it doesn't look like we're going to get a real one with this deck, which is kind of a shame. I was really hoping we would actually get 1 or 2 serious matches in. Or maybe I might try to actually rebuild the original list and try it actually out of poor judgment. Maybe throw it into Historic to see maybe we'll actually get a real match there. Although, truth be told, I did test the deck out also a couple times last night. I actually played against this deck with one hilarious colorless ramp deck. And some way, somehow, we actually got the win against an Ugin player. It was wild. The only unfortunate part was I was playing that on mobile, so I couldn't have that recorded. Man, if I had that recorded, that would actually have been a great highlight for this deck. Okay, in any case, let's go ahead. Let's get our actual match going. I really hope we'll get an actual fight out of this one. I really am itching to get one decent one here. Okay, we'll mulligan here. Okay. Awkward, but I think we'll keep this one. Put back the charge of the mites. Our Vraska's Falls are pretty much all we're going to have to rely on here. So maybe our opponent will play some planeswalkers or creatures we can then just instant destroy. No. Oh, come on. Come on, Arena. Can you give me at least one Rio match today? Just one. Just one. Okay. All right. I'll have to just modify this a little bit, everybody, because I think we're just going to keep getting these instant concedes. Excuse me. Or if we're not really getting any real matches, I'm probably just jump back to playing just the best of one for the event a little bit longer. I was really hoping we were going to get some actual matches here, like in an actual format, but okay. All right. But yeah, if anybody else can kind of explain this to me, like with the artifacts, or at least just casting creature spells, I guess someone can explain that to me. Done Splendid. Problem with my card, with my deck being mono white, is card draw is whack. I mean, used to be, but I mean, there's some good mono white cards you can actually play for card draw. Okay, so I think out of this, and because I don't want to keep playing some goofy stuff here, okay, I think we might as well just stick to the rest of the event here. I know we've already finished it, but I'm actually I had a lot more fun doing this. So let's go back and give this now a shot and just continue finishing it up just for now. Because also I didn't want to keep playing in a format where we're just going to keep getting these instant concedes, which is very boring. So we'll just stick to the rest of the event for the remainder of the stream, everybody. Just again, do apologize for that. But again, I was hoping we were going to get like one or two real matches against opponents, but it didn't look like Arena was going to be nice to us today. Okay. Either way, we'll still talk about this just properly like we do for any of our other decks. So once we get to the end of the event, we'll definitely chat about this. All right. Hits us with our Land of War Elves. That's fine. Elvish Mystic. Okay. We're all in on elves. So with that, maybe I will sideboard in for these best of ones like our Wraths. That actually might be helpful against us here. Okay, opponent definitely is playing some big stuff here. Right. So in the meantime, let's see, how do I want to do this here? Calling Chorus. Oh, pass. Stickman Jake, people are getting Infect Flashback. Yes, yes they are. And thanks again for joining us, my fire friend. Hopefully having a wonderful day wherever you're at. All right, in the meantime, block the Giant. All right, that's fine. We get a token back, so we're not down, but our opponent here definitely could beat us down here. It's okay, though. We already finished the event, so at this point, we're just kind of just doing our extra laps just because. Okay, in the meantime, we'll get out. We won't get out here. I guess we'll get out another island. Process Ball. So, yeah, that Silverback Shaman will probably destroy us completely, but it's fine. We'll give it another turn or two. If we can get out our hard removal, we might be able to beat our opponent down here, but I don't think we're going to get it with this hand. Maybe we should put in some bounce spells. Oh, Cat Grantula. Ugh. Okay, we got the Whisper of the Dross, but too little too late. Still, I can at least kind of put a dent in our opponent here for a bit. And then Augury. Okay. Okay, 3. Cerebral Augury. But that pretty much means that this will be a loss here. Still. It's okay, though. Not a big deal. We'll definitely start hitting our opponent with more poison counters in the next couple matches. Don't worry, everybody. We'll get some more wins with this one, because this one actually is a really fun one. For those of you also that are curious, if you do like the poison style that we're playing, I have definitely played more than enough to last a lifetime. Poison decks across Arena in various ways. I've made a one monocolored dual colored, 3-colored, even 4-color. We've made all kinds of poison decks, so if you are interested, just kind of scroll through the channel a bit. You'll definitely find, I'm sure, one poison deck I'm sure you will gladly enjoy playing. However, before I kind of toot my own horn about that, let's go ahead, let's get into this next match here. All right, so with that... Oh. Okay. Free win. At this point, we don't even need the wins anymore. I'm just trying to... I just want matches. That's all I want. I just want good matches for the rest of the stream. Because at this point, we've already done our dailies for the day. But yeah, still enjoying this. And then one more time, for those of you who haven't already done so, if you want to help me out and be a true fiery friend, as always, if you want to check out some of the extra bonus footage that we have and usually does not make it to YouTube, we, of course, have a Patreon where only $3 a month, at the cheapest, you can support me and help to keep this channel moving. But even if you don't want to do so, or maybe if you just want to just join the community, we have our growing community, of course, on Discord here. We can all chat about whatever you want. We can, of course, chat about all kinds of fun decks. You can leave your deck list there if you do want to play them out. Maybe made a new friend there, and okay. And maybe your opponents do not want to hear me rant about my shilling of the channel, but hey, I'm going to do it anyway. So wins are wins, I guess. Don't worry, we will get in a couple more matches, everybody. We will get in at least a couple more before this whole stream is done. But even again, as I mentioned earlier, even if you don't do any of that stuff, any of your support today, or even just watching and enjoying the stream is all I appreciate from you guys. So thanks again, as always, for everyone being here today. I really appreciate all of you. Okay. In the meantime here, so we have now a good hand here. Very slow on the mana base, but I think we can do that. Usually you can get away with a slow mana base, at least in this format. Sneaky Toilet with a question here. Do you think Mill or Poison is stronger? Good question. In my opinion, I'm going to say Poison is stronger. And the reason for that is Poison has a better diversity of card pool where you can play it as either a creature poison deck, you could do a control poison deck. As you kind of see today, you can make it Pauper. You can actually go all in on making it a very expensive, maybe like modern deck or anything like that. Oh, you appreciate that still. Thanks again for that. Nice with the subscription. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So with that, but yeah, and then mill, I mean, you can mill in other colors and other things like that, but mill feels like it's still kind of one-dimensional. Literally, the whole point of mill is just to, you know, make your opponent discard their whole deck into the graveyard. But at least with Poison, you at least kind of have a couple different ways of doing it. So you can make it control, creature heavy. You can go with combos. There's all kinds of fun things you can do with Poison. So actually, that's why I kind of enjoy this a bit more. So good question on that one. Thank you again for the question. In the meantime here, let us get out our planes. So now we have our mana fixed. So you told her, remember to call Lonnie a... Oh, okay, fine. Are they here? Is your friend here? Alright. Swamp. Okay, blood token. Alright. Okay, so our opponent is playing a madness deck. Interesting. Okay. That's cute. Oh, he's watching through the Discord room. Okay, okay. Good to know. Although usually I'm not fond of insulting people. But I mean, you have requested it before. We'll try not to do it too often, though. Okay, opponents. Anything else? One more. Nothing? Maybe? Okay, so with that, let's go ahead and see here. We will do the Ferocious Fall. Opponents. Okay, we get a poison counter. So now we got the poison game plan going. Okay, opponents. What else you got? Show me what you got. Okay. Anything opponents? Come on. Highway robbery. Okay, so they will discard Kitchen Imp again. They draw 2. Cute little deck, though. I do like their little Madness plan. And we have also played Madness ourselves. It's been a while, but it is there. All right, in the meantime, though, Tranquil Cove. And then we will play Crawling Chorus. So here's how we do this. Okay, -2. There we go. Kitchen Imp is down, and now we have 3 poison counters, which is great. Now we just got to start digging for the rest of our creatures here, and we should be good to go here. See, he called me a simp for subbing, so he deserves it. Oh, okay. So he's insulting you just because you subbed? I mean, what you do with your money is your business. I don't know why your friend is acting that way, but okay. I guess that's fair to say that. Okay. Meanwhile, okay, so our opponent has Sneaky Snacker. This is actually a really solid card in Pauper, by the way. Draw 3 cards, and you get this back for free? Okay. So there you go. Fiery Temper. That means they're going to hit our Crawling Chorus. But we still get a nice token out of it. Oh, actually they're going to face. Okay. Alright, alright. We will... up to 4. Scoured Barrens. 5. And Sneaky Snacker. Gone and exiled. There we go. Board is still clear, so we're looking still pretty good. Okay, opponent, what else we got? 4 cards in hand. What else could you possibly have? Anything else? Come on, opponents. Come on, come on, come on. Don't leave me hanging. Anything? Okay, our opponent right now is letting the timer do its thing. So, yeah. Okay. Okay, come on. Anytime now, opponents. Highway Robbery. All right. Doing some more discard. Will they play some more madness stuff? Sacrifice a land. Okay. Interesting. I mean, they have plenty of lands. Palm Domains. Okay. Life gain and drain. We don't care about the life gain they have. We just want to get through those poison counters. Okay, so we just need a little bit more action. Okay, Bring the Ending is good. That'll help us at least counter something that we don't want to deal with. Opponents? What else you got? Come on. Come on, opponents. Okay, any longer, and this might end up being the last match. I don't want this to be the last match. I'd like to get in at least maybe one more match. Just one more after this. But if our opponent's going to take their sweet time here, that might be it for us. We'll see. Okay, there we go. Come on, opponents. Let me have this. Let me have this. Okay, there we go. So we got up to 6. We need 4 more poison counters. We do have a counter spell. Okay. What else we got, opponents? Fiery Temper. We'll let that resolve. If they have anything else, then we can still do our thing here. Grab the prize. We'll counterspell that. Come on, deck. Dig for me. I need something here. Okay, I guess we'll get the Bring the Ending, just in case. 7. Oh, we're so close here. But we are fizzling, which is not too good, because we're close to also dying here, too. Up to 8. Highway Robbery. All right. Have them draw 2 cards. But we can still counterspell something. So if they still want to sacrifice lands, and they do. Okay. Did they draw into anything? Anything that can beat us. Okay, Alms of the Veins. I guess we'll just counterspell that. Whew. So close here. Oh man, we just need one more card to help us finish off our opponent here. Wow, this came really close. Very close. Okay. 9. So at this point, if our opponent has anything to draw into, anything, we might lose. Down to 2. Okay. There we go. All right. Our little might that could, everybody. The 10th counter's on there, and victory is ours. Nice. Woo! Wow. That was way too close on that one, but nice. That was a nice finisher. Okay. I'm actually looking at the clock right now. I think that actually might be it for us, because I realize now, I know we started a little bit late, and this might cut the stream just a smidge shorter than normal, but again, I want to make sure I'm going to have to end this on time. So we're going to be a little bit tight on time, everybody. Apologize for that, but that's okay. So let's actually now just go right to the finale of this, which is we're going to just talk about the deck overall. So that was the Pauper Poison deck for you, everybody. And you tell me in the comments below, what do you think? Would you play this deck in any way, shape, or form? Whether you want to play it just in general or maybe as a future Pauper event, let me know. Honestly, I really do like the deck overall, even though it definitely feels like it's a little clunky at times, but that kind of comes with the territory of playing in a event that's just all commons. I was actually really satisfied with the deck overall. I would definitely even consider building this for my actual collection. So I think I might actually do that in the future. The actual cost, I think, is only going to be like, what, $25 for this deck overall. So yeah, that's pretty much as cheap as you can go for any of our decks out there. So actually pretty solid if you do want to try this out. If you are interested in seeing, us play maybe more poison decks in the future, let me know. I'm always happy, of course, to play more poison decks, but we have done a ton of them over the course of this channel. So we've done all variants. If you haven't already done so, check out those older videos. They're a little dated, but they still provide, at least for you, a good foundation if you are interested in playing with this style. We sadly couldn't get in really any real matches in an actual format because Arena kind of kept messing with us there, but it's okay. I'm still happy with what it turned out, what we got today, at least in the actual event itself. So super joys about that one. Yeah, I'm going to be bouncing too. Hope you enjoy your day. Okay, thanks again for joining us as always, Sneaky Toilet. And yes, your friend, of course, is a dick. But again, I'll try not to do that. I usually don't like to... I don't usually like to actually make insult on stream. I try to keep it nice. But to be fair, your friend did insult you. So that's a little unfair for him to do that. So just as an FYI for him already. Any case, so before we wrap it up for today, everybody... Let's go over again. For those of you that stuck around, of course, to the very end, my true fire friends, here's kind of give you an idea of what we're going to be playing with in the future. So, in the next stream, I know, Sneaky Toilet, you mentioned this, but we have a cool token siege deck that actually does utilize some of the cards that you were mentioning, because with the current format right now in Standard, there's a lot of combo stuff right now. So this deck actually has some cards that lock out your opponent from actually playing the game with tokens, some cards that will deny your opponent to actually play cards on your turn, and also, of course, cards that force your opponent to only play one spell every turn. So this is actually going to be a token siege deck that I'm looking forward to this one on the weekend. So we'll be playing that one maybe on Saturday night, most likely. As far as what else we're looking at playing for the rest of the thing, we're going to be working on our next deck tech here, which is Jeskai Prowess here. However, from this one, this is what led me to the actual tiered deck right now that's currently a menace in Standard, which is going to be the Prowess deck itself. Is it Prowess is actually really, really good. And it actually is budget friendly. I mean, if you cut out all the rare dual lands, but technically you can. So we'll maybe look at this next week on stream. The weekend again will be the token siege deck, and Jeskai Prowess will also be our next deck tech to wrap up the rest of Tarkir Dragonstorm's clan. So I'm actually looking forward to finishing it off there. I'm really happy about that one. Beyond any of that, it's mostly going to be just whatever pops into my head, at least until we get to Final Fantasy, because we have several weeks to go until Final Fantasy, but we're going to be getting a lot of previews coming up very soon. So with that, that's pretty much going to be it for today, everybody. Thanks again one more time for joining us today. I really had a lot of fun with the Pauper deck for you, and hopefully we get some more Pauper events in the future. I actually really do enjoy this event. It's a lot of fun once you can kind of learn to really get a feel for what this format can do. And then finally, of course, as always, my final shout-outs that I give to everybody that joined us on stream today. So with that, of course, as always, my all-stars here, Dan Splendid, of course, 2 of 1 Wives, if you're still there, thanks again for joining us earlier today. Sneaky Toilet, as always, you're great, as always, for the hilarity and also great questions you always ask. Appreciate that. Over on Instagram, I do see on here still memorandums. Thanks again for joining us there over on that side. For the others that have joined us throughout the rest of the stream, trying to give out, make sure I get all the shout-outs, of course. There's a handful of you that kind of jumped in there. So Itsy PJ,
We'll definitely get that deck list for you. I know that you asked for that earlier on. And then some of the others, Stickman Jake, I know you popped in for a hot minute there, so thanks again for that. And let's see, did I miss any actually other shout-outs? Again, I'm trying to make sure that I do have everybody else. But if I do miss you all, apologize for that one, but I think I did get everybody today. But otherwise, that's pretty much it for today, everybody. One more time, have a wonderful week. We look forward to finally having Explorer become officially Pioneer starting on our next stream, so I'm looking forward to that. But until then, one more time, have a wonderful week, and again, we'll have a chance to do this again over the weekend. But, as always, before I end it, just remember that no matter what you do play in the game of life, always be sure to burn bright. We will see you again on the weekend, everybody. Later.